The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
It sounds funny saying the Las Vegas Raiders just won their biggest game of the year against a team that hasn't won a game. It sounds even funnier saying they needed a miracle play to avoid becoming that team's first win. But here we are. The Raiders definitely have to grow from last Sunday because guess what? Every game from here on out is the biggest game of the year for the Raiders. But this one against the Indianapolis Colts is really the biggest game of the Raiders season because it determines how big the rest of the games this season will be. At 8-4, the Colts are in one of the wild card spots right now, while the Raiders are outside looking in, and a win would give the Raiders the same record as the Colts and a tiebreaker advantage. That's definitely an advantage they want in case they finish with the same record as the Colts this season. But how do they beat the Colts? It's one thing to know what you have to do and another to know how to do it. And I'm pretty sure Coach Gruden and his Raiders know how. Here are a few keys on both sides of the ball to the Raiders beating the Colts and improving their playoff chances. On offense, they got to keep quarterback Derek Carr clean, and that means containing Colts defensive tackle DeForest Buckner. The Colts pass rush got the shot in the arm it needed when the Colts picked up Buckner this offseason. The length that comes with Buckner's 6'7" height makes him a matchup nightmare for guards inside. Look how he uses the arm length advantage here. That was easy work and almost a turnover for his team. Put that together with his motor and effort and you can see why he has 41 pressures and 6 sacks so far this season. As scary as Buckner looks, the Raiders see a guy just like that twice a year, perhaps better, in Chris Jones. And they have a center like Rodney Hudson to help out on him when need be. Here Hudson's going to have him for most of the way and nothing. Good as no Richie Incognito, but he was able to handle Jones one-on-one at times. He's going to handle him on this play to give Carr all the time he needs. Hudson helped with right guard Gabe Jackson at times as well. For the most part, Jackson has always handled Jones well. He has the pass blocking skills of a tackle, and that gives Jones trouble. Here, Jones is going to try to beat Jackson with speed, and that's not going to work. Here he does a good job of taking the fight to Jones to negate his length. And that, my friends, allows time for the big play down the field. Buckner is also good with his length against the run. keep a guy blocked if you can't get into his body. He's going to take this double team with one arm each. He has some speed and quickness to make plays down the line outside as well. It also helps to stay disciplined and not overrun things with that speed and quickness. But Buckner can definitely be had if you can get into his body. Jones has sprung up once or twice to make a play against the Raiders in the run game. But for the most part, they have controlled him. Here's Jackson on him. Here, Hudson's going to seal him off while Good pulls. When Trim Brown comes with this down block, forget about it. Jones has no chance on this combo block by Jackson and Brown. And that's a big play for Devontae Booker. There, I got it right because I always want to call him Parker. Now we got Denzel Good on him. And that's just enough to get Josh Jacobs into the end zone. Buckner's the only significant addition to the Colts front four this offseason. And they know how to deal with him. And running back Josh Jacobs is going to play in this one. The Colts couldn't stop him last year. He went outside. He cut back. And he took it straight up the middle. He was a big chore for the Colts to bring down that day. Now we go to the Colts coverage, where they're pretty good. Let's start with Darius Leonard. He's known for covering tight ends very well. He's good at defending tight ends in the short passing game. And down the field. He hasn't been challenged by the speed of Waller yet. The Raiders run a play just like this. And if Leonard is this late in his recognition against Waller, that's a touchdown. Because Waller runs a 4.4 to Leonard's 4.7 40. And he's hot, coming off a 200-yard game. He moved the chains on third down. He made a big play after the catch. And he got it done in the red zone for 13 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now on to the secondary, where cornerback Xavier Rhodes can play. And on the other side, Kenny Moore Jr. can play too. But both of them struggle with speed. Rhodes knew he couldn't run with that guy, so he tried to body up on him and got the flag. Another route for a speed advantage is the over route, and it's funny because they're both open on this one. And if quarterback Matthew Stafford doesn't have to scramble on this one, he could throw this ball on time and it's a touchdown. But I'm sure the Lions were fine with 73 yards there. The funny thing is Moore got hit with a double move there. And isn't that what Henry Ruggs hit his man with to win the game last week? Oh, and he's gone. Ruggs is going to be a tough matchup on these Colts corners. He goes up and gets this one here. And he's going to blaze by everyone here. And he's not the only one either. There's a speedster named Nelson Aguilar on the other side. It's going to be hard for these Colts corners to match up with this kind of speed. And if the Colts run the cover 2 to take the deep ball away from both sides, the Raiders are just going to run the ball. Now we're on to the next key, bothering Phillip Rivers. He still has his touch and accuracy, but due to his age, he's not as consistent throwing the deep ball. This is a touchdown to T.Y. Hilton if Rivers puts it out in front of him. So Rivers has to throw short passes to matriculate the ball down the field, and he depends on runs after the catch to get big yardage. And not that he can ever move or scramble, but he's really a sitting duck now. He's going to try to get out of the pocket and run here, but and if you can bother him enough, you can get an interception out of him. And that's where Clelin Ferrell comes in, hot off his 2-sack, 2 forced fumble, 6 pressure game against the Jets last week. This one he gets coming off the edge. He also had a pressure to help force an interception. He took over that game. Now here's the second forced fumble coming from inside. Mad Max Crosby was right there too, which is why he got the fumble. Speaking of Mad Max, he started the season hot with 6 sacks. He's cooled off a bit since then, but if the Raiders can get him going along with Ferrell, they'll really be doing something. And if they get Vic Beasley, who got his feet wet with 8 snaps last week, going along with them, they'll really be doing something. The Colts have a top 10 run defense due to schedule, because when they play against a team that can run the ball, they run the ball on them. So look for Jacobs to get going. Off of that, look for the Raiders to go deep to Ruggs against a secondary that struggles with speed. And I'll believe Leonard can stop Waller when I see it, so look for a good game from Waller. And on defense, Ferrell, Crosby, and Beasley gotta go see Rivers. And those are the keys to a Raider victory. Thank you for watching. See you next time.